Good morning, everybody. It must be Wednesday morning, 5:36, and here I am in Hagerstown, Maryland, and I'm inside the Potomac Walk. We're going to take a look at the Meinelscmidt distillery, but I want you to see this. This is pretty unique inside here. We got Bulls and Bears restaurant over here, got offices up top, barber shop. And then for the distillery here, the most important part is the grain. Looks like they just got a shipment in the last couple days. This is what becomes that good tasting bourbon right here. And we're gonna in a little bit, we're gonna go take a look at the distillery itself and see how it goes from this to that fine tasting bourbon. Okay, here we are inside the bar area of the Meinelscmidt distillery, and this is Cort Meinelscmidt, who's the brewmaster or the whiskey guy, the whiskey maker.
Yeah, head distiller, yes.
Head distiller. How long has this been in business?
We've been open 3 years now, just 3.5 years. So we purchased the still back in January of 2020, right before the pandemic.
Oh, okay, that was good timing, wasn't it?
Great time.
Great timing. And you're located inside, let me see, this wall would have been the end of the Masonic Temple?
Yes, so this was the old Masonic Lodge in downtown Hagerstown.
Okay, and it's located on South Potomac Street at?
54 South Potomac Street. 54
South. And to get to it, you need to come through the entranceway where I did the introduction out there. And you got some other bars, you got a barber shop, you got a restaurant across the way.
Exactly. We've got a Cape and Blade Barbershop right in the front, and then across the hall is Bulls and Bears restaurant and pub. And we're right across the street from the Maryland Theater, and soon to be the new stadium. We're a block away.
Where you're going to be the only bourbon?
Yeah, we're the exclusive whiskey and bourbon of the Flying Boxcars, and then it's the Meinelscmidt Distillery Bar on the third baseline. Okay,
so when you go to the games, make sure you go over on the third baseline. So we're inside here. We're going to walk up here to the bar area. Over here to the left, you can see in the windows, that's the actual distillery.
Yep. So that's our still, and we'll go down there in a little bit, but it's a 300-gallon still. We have a combination still, so a pot still, a 4-plate column, and a 16-plate column, and then also a 300-gallon mash tun.
And you do make bourbon, whiskey, vodka, and gin.
Correct.
Okay. So this is the bar area. Love the atmosphere in here. So if you're downtown Hagerstown, make sure you come in here, because I love the copper top to the bar here.
And a couple little fun things. The bar here, the wood is actually the old floor joists from the still. Where we had to cut the floor joist out to put the still in. We reused that original wood for the bar, and then we put the copper top on it. So it's kind of fun.
Oh, okay. And they have a couple unique drinks. I don't know whatever you do with the little bubble on the top.
Yeah, so it's very popular on the Cosmo. It's a passion fruit Cosmo that we have a bubble on the top. If you want, I can pull that out real quick and show you.
Sure, if you would.
And then
we don't have to make the Cosmo, just
then we do
just do the bubble.
Yeah, we do love our old fashions here, so we have probably 12 to 15 different types of bitters for the old fashions, which is always exciting for people who have never tried our different types of bitters or didn't even know they existed. Give me 1 second.
You're gonna like this. This is unique.
So this is one of our more popular vodka drinks. It's the passion fruit Cosmo, and then we put a bubble on the top, just like that. And then once you're done, you pop it. It's a nice little show. So, again, that's the passion fruit Cosmo.
It's pretty cool, and it's got a taste to it or a flavor? Or?
Yeah, the scent of this one For the passion fruit Cosmos is that it's actually passion fruit.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
just a little fun thing to do with drinks, make it a little bit different, a little unique. And that's what we want. We want it to be a little upscale here without being stuffy.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's definitely not stuffy when you come in here. It's a fun bar.
Yeah, so there's no TVs, anything like that. We want you to sit down, play some games, have a nice conversation, bring some friends. But you know, we decided not to have TVs up.
That's a good idea. One of my pet peeves is going into a bar that has TVs all around, but no closed caption and no sound.
Yes.
So you have no idea what's going on.
Yep.
You know, no idea.
And just wanted to show our bourbon bottle. That's actually, we just came out with a bourbon. This New Year's Eve was our first barrel, and we are actually on our third barrel right now. And barrel number 4, though, we're keeping that behind for next year. So barrel number 5 will be coming out, opening up here. I think it's April 26th, so later this week.
And how many gallons are in a barrel?
53 gallons when they're fully filled. But as everybody hears, you get what's called angel share. So that's the stuff that evaporates. That's the stuff that leaks through the bottle, gets absorbed in the wood. So you'll never get 53 gallons out.
And 53 gallons makes how many bottles?
If it was we're looking, for us, we're getting about 250 bottles on a full barrel. Again, you take away the angel share and then you have to proof it down. So that's where we're about.
Okay.
Again, every barrel is a little bit different. So in all of ours, our bourbon are single barrel. And just a fun little thing, all the bottles up top, there are number 1 bottles, the very first bottle of that type of spirit. So.
Okay. So everybody, if you're downtown, if you're going to something at the Maryland Theater, this is a great place to have a drink before the show, have a drink after the show, right across the street. And the new stadium is going to be, say, a block and a half away?
Half a block.
A half a block?
Yep.
Yeah, because you're almost at the corner here. So it's just right over here. And that opens up on May
4th is the first game. And the parking deck is attached to the building, so you can park right here at the building and walk right on through.
Yeah, that's right. The parking deck right behind here, you just come, if you're on the right level, you actually just walk through the door and you're right here.
Yes. Yep.
So convenient downtown. I think this block at South Potomac Street is the best block in Hagerstown.
I'd like to say so too.
You know, yeah. I mean, it's got the nice restaurants, it's got the Maryland Theater, it's got this. Yeah, so if you're downtown, make sure you stop in here. Now we're going to go downstairs. We're going to go 1 floor down, and we're going to take a look at what all this stuff does over here. That's not your Appalachian steel there, buddy. That's big time. Okay, let's go downstairs and take a look at that. Okay, here we are in the basement of the distillery where the actual process takes place. So, Cort, you want to run us through the process of making? Now, you make bourbon, whiskey, vodka, and gin.
Correct.
Okay, and that's all made through the same machinery here?
Yes, same equipment.
It's just different, whatever.
It's a slightly different process for everything. So this is our mash tun. It's a 300-gallon mash tun. We use a very heavy mash bill, so we use about 760 pounds of grain, depending what we're making, our bourbon, our rye whiskey, our wheated whiskeys, and then the corn we use, or the vodkas we use a little bit less. Then after here we convert all your starch to sugars. Then after that we cool it down and it goes to our open fermentation. We do everything on grain. And so there you turn the sugars to alcohol, you add the yeast, sits again 4 to 5 days. After that it goes into our still, which we have a combination still, where you're boiling it, distilling it, and you're trying to pull out the poisons and the good alcohols and the bad alcohols. So the column on the left does our whiskey and the bourbon. The column in the middle does our vodka and gin, And the column on the right is just a condenser coil. It cools the steam down so we can separate and make the cuts, the heads, hearts, and tails. So.
Oh, okay. Kind of looks like the steels from up in the Appalachian. It's got the little copper top and
yeah, the pot still does, but the columns are a little bit different.
Yeah, they're a little bit different. Okay, so you said the 3 columns are for different.
Yes, so by law, whiskey and bourbon need to come off the still below 160 proof. So we only use 4 plates, and we actually like to come off between 135 and 140 proof. And then by law, vodka needs to come off the still above 190 proof. So we use all 16 plates after doing a stripping run so that it comes off above 190.
Okay, so the liquid goes up to the top and comes down through.
Correct. So it starts at the bottom and goes up to the top, and then it comes across the back, then from top to bottom on the condenser coil.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so each one of those circles is, they call it a bubble plate. It's a plate and it has copper caps that everything steams up, condenses down. And on the top of each one is a smaller condenser coil so that we know we can keep it at a certain temperature so certain alcohols don't make it through and others come down, and then less water or more water depending on what you're making.
Okay. And how much, you said you start out here 750?
750 pounds of grain, and a total of 300 gallons.
300 gallons.
Correct.
Okay. And that's no matter which of the 4 you're making?
Correct.
Okay. It's just a different process once you get beyond here.
Yeah, and different grains. Grains. The bourbon, our rye, and our wheated whiskey are all different combination of grains, and the same thing with the vodka and gin. It's different grains.
Okay. So what ends up in all of this?
So then after we make our cuts, we take the hearts, and sorry about the mess, but we have a smaller space. So our whiskey and bourbons and ryes go into the barrels. We currently have about 73 barrels filled right now, and after tomorrow we'll have 75 barrels filled. And so they sit in there. Currently our bourbon gives about 3 years. Our whiskey, we're trying to get to 3 years, but it's not there yet. And then our rye is currently 2 years. But we want to increase the age of that. And we will be coming out with a bonded in barrel, or barrel and bonded bourbon next year, hopefully around May of next year, which will be 4 years.
But it won't be available for
1 more year. Yep, so it'll be 4 years.
4 years. Okay.
Yeah, so
now, are these barrels like a wine barrel? Are they?
So these are white American oak, and they're all charred inside, unlike wine. So our whiskey, we use a number 2 char, which is a lighter, and our bourbon or rye, we use a number 3 char, so it's a little bit heavier of a char, which means it's been burnt longer.
Okay, that's what gets the coloring in those?
Yeah, that's what you're going to get a lot of the color and flavoring from.
Most of them come out of here clear?
It all comes clear, yes.
All comes clear, okay, so the coloring that you get is simply from aging inside here?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm sure you can reuse these barrels, so 10 years down the road, is the bourbon going to be a little bit better that comes out of here?
You cannot reuse a bourbon barrel. So
you can't?
Bourbon barrels by law have to be in a new white American oak below, and you have to put your spirit distillate, your spirit in there below 125 proof. So you can only use a bourbon barrel once. Whiskey barrels you can reuse, but bourbon you cannot.
Okay, and vodka and gin don't need to go through this process.
Correct. Vodka and gin, our vodka is unaged and our gin is unaged. We will be experimenting with some slightly aged gins in the future, but not currently.
So you bottle, that goes directly into a bottle? The gin and
yeah, so the gin,
vodka?
after we're done making the cuts, we proof it down, and then the vodka goes directly in the bottle. The gin does have one more step where it has to steam through your botanicals, and then proof down to go into the bottle.
Okay. And you do your own bottling here?
Yep, everything's done right here. We bottle, we label, everything's done down here.
Interesting. So this stuff isn't going to be available for 3 years?
All the stuff, well, some of it, a lot of it we started making 2 and 3 years ago, so we have things coming out now. But we also are constantly putting new barrels up. So we do about 2 barrels a week is what we produce currently.
Okay. Now, is your product available anywhere else other than your?
Yes, you can get. There's definitely liquor stores and restaurants in Maryland and DC.
And also, in a week or so, you're going to be available at the new stadium.
Oh yes, we sorry.
Yeah.
We are. Yeah, so we'll be at the stadium. We're the exclusive whiskey and bourbon of the Flying Boxcars, and we have the Meinelscmidt distillery bar in the stadium.
Oh, that's cool. And that opens, when's the first day?
May 4th, so
May
we're
4th,
a week and a
so,
half.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, anything else you want to say about the process here?
It's just a labor of love. It's a lot of fun, and we enjoy it. So, and would like to say, just we found out today, this morning, we won at all our bourbon, our cask strength whiskey, wheated whiskey, and our rye whiskey. We just won a silver medal in the San Francisco World Spirits Competition, which is the largest and most prestigious international blind taste testing competition in our industry, in the spirits industry.
Oh, there you go, folks. And it's right here in Hagerstown. Walk out here, take a look up here, Russell. We saw it from upstairs when we were up in the bar, but this is the bar right up here. So it's a unique setup because you can sit in the bar and actually see see where it's made.
See it getting things done.
Okay, well, I think that does it. Enjoyed the information about it. And you're located at?
We're 54 South Potomac Street, Suite 102 in the old Masonic Lodge, right across the street from the Maryland Theater and Bulls and Bears restaurant.
Oh, that's right. This would be the old Masonic Lodge.
Yes.
Where was the theater at down here?
The old theater was behind that wall.
Okay, behind here.
Yep.
Because I was in here a lot before they gave it up. Okay. Okay, well, thanks for joining us. Thanks a lot, Cort. Thanks for the information. And join us next Wednesday at 5:36 a.m. See ya.